So something I hear a lot when I tell people I'm autistic, or when they find out I'm autistic, is how did you manage to be an engineer and have a wife and 3 daughters? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are saying you struggle with people and interactions and socializing, so that is a they're kind of hinting at it's a kind of a contradiction, or maybe they just confused at how it happens. But in any case, I think I have to talk about that. So firstly, I'm gonna just focus more on the relationship thing and the work thing. Well, to become an engineer, well, there's no socializing required. I can just study maths and physics and become one. And to work as an engineer, it's like about the same. You just do your job and listen to the boss and make him happy. And that's the main thing there, because I want to get paid. If I don't make him happy or her happy, the boss happy, the administration, I don't get paid. So that's quite easy. I can just set my my goals, and my goal is to get paid. So work is not a problem. And in engineering, you don't work too much with people, so it's just stuff. So, but how did I find a woman? That's a question. Because when I grew up, when I was a teenager, when I was younger, I had to figure out how to get a girl, because I discovered in my teenage years that yes, girls, I need a female, I need a woman, I need a partner, whatever I need. They have a lot of things that I like, that I can get from them. So I need one or two if I could. But so I set out to find out how to get it, because it didn't come natural to me, and every female I approached didn't work. So nobody I liked was interested in me. So I gathered information from everybody, who I thought might know, or any guys around. I didn't have access to many women or females or the opposite sex to tell me what to do, so I had to just listen to some guys, the experts that Jesus, and those experts. If you read my first book, Chicken Legs, go into that a little bit about those experts, about how you do that things and changing your tone and all kinds of stuff. To me, it was just a big fakery, and it didn't work. So, and what I was doing didn't work either. So how did I finally meet a wife and have 3 daughters? So let's just sidetrack. So I have to tell it a little bit from the side of my wife, because she grew up in another country in Europe, and in 1997 she saw a movie called Once Were Warriors. She went there, funny enough, she went there with a boyfriend at that point, and they watched this in I think it was an open air cinema somewhere in Europe, in Switzerland. And while she was watching this movie with the Maoris, this was the first time that she saw Maori people, basically, and men that have, in her opinion, like dark skin and almost straight hair and different features, and she was like, wow, these dudes, wow, they're so hot. She was like, yo, it was like, wow. And she didn't tell her boyfriend, obviously, how the reaction that people gave to her. But in any case, 2 years later, she was in Australia, and then she saw a Maori guy. Her exact words was, I saw a beautiful Maori man. And of course, she did see quite a few Maoris there in Australia. However, most of the time these guys were with others and occupied or doing something. And of course, females, they also need to have some, she also needed to have some secure situation for her to approach somebody, in this. So, but when she saw this Maori man, and she thought, wow, he's in a situation where he's not gonna be leaving soon. He looks like he's bored. He looks like he has to be here, and there's no one else. So, this is the perfect, time to approach. And that beautiful Maori man was funny. Anyway, so she came up and she said, "What's the time?" And that was the way we got connected. So she was like, by fate, instinctively drawn to this who she thought was a Maori man. Turns out I'm not a Maori, I'm a Cape Malay, which is but if you look at my ancestry, you will see that I have a lot of Indonesian or those islander people blood in my system. I guess 60% probably of me is from those regions, and the rest, I'm not sure where the rest comes from, because if you look at Cape Malay history, we were just slaves. I was slaves, and they were imported slaves from east, what they call it, the east, the islands there. So the Maori people probably come from similar places. That's why she mistook that face for a Maori face. Anyway, it turns out the movie Once Were Warriors was quite I can't remember exactly, it was quite a hectic movie, violent and lots of emotions and strong things happening. And when she heard that this Cape Malay, his ancestry also connected there, and his people, apartheid, and how he grew up in the violence, and at least how I grew up, surrounded by all kinds of violence and death and oppression and all kinds of hectic things. It's quite similar, to the Maori story in some ways, So, and on the other side, because I grew up in apartheid, I was under the impression that all European women have nice bodies. So somehow I was instinctively also drawn to that, because I like an athletic, fit woman, and I thought, okay, Europeans are athletic and fit, and when I met my wife, she looked quite in the spectrum. So it was a fate. So how did I connect with her if I do not know socializing? Well, fate, God, whatever designed us, brought us together there's no strategy needed, no strategy required. She just liked who I was, I just liked who she was, and for some reason we can communicate, even though she's not autistic, but it turns out her father is most likely autistic, and she's used to people like that, and her father is also an electrical engineer, so that is quite funny. So yes, that's the secret, how an autistic man can have a social relationship. So there's no contradiction. That, well, some people like to say, oh, you look so normal. How you look so normal? You have a wife and kids. How can you be autistic? No. The social disconnection is still there. However, there is a strong fate that compensates for that in my relationship with my wife. And so we have 3 daughters, and 2 of them are autistic and 1 is not. So, see, there's no magic. There's just fate.